Hey guys, today is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. So we are on day 4. I hope all is going well for you this week. So I'm going to go ahead and start today. And we have 2 days left here. So today our math, again, is basically the exact same thing. So you have a multiplication problem. You have a pattern, a number pattern. You have a word problem that deals with money, a division, a 3-digit by 3-digit addition. What is the time? Okay, then you're going to write these numbers on number 7 from least to greatest. So make sure they go from least to greatest, biggest to smallest. Okay, then you have a circle graph on favorite pets. And then you're going to answer 3 questions using that graph. Okay, back side, you're going to write number 1 and 2. They are numbers written in words, so you're going to write them in standard form, which again is the number form. Then you have a division problem. You have another one of those volume problems. Then you're writing on 5, 6, and 7, what is the digit or what is the value of the underlined digit? So remember your order of your digits, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and so on. Okay, and then you have 3 more rounding to the nearest 100, just like we did earlier in the week. Excuse me. So that is your math for today. Okay, your reading for today looks like this. It is just a front side. It's called One More Chapter. Okay, so you are going to read the story, and then you have 9 questions down here at the bottom, and you're going to circle either yes or no for each question. And then your last is to draw a picture of the 2 characters in the story. So these are all dealing with inferencing. And I know inferencing is something that we've talked about this year, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the slide on inferencing and what that means. So when you make an inference, it's like you're being a detective. Okay, you look for clues from the passage and your own experiences to figure out either what happens or why something happens. Okay, so here's your graphic for that. Making inferences, what do you know? What clues did you find in the story? What can you conclude? And what can you infer? So that is how you're going to answer those questions on your worksheet, is by reading and then taking what you know and make an inference about what's happening in the story. Okay, your language for today is about using commas. Okay, there are different times that we need to use commas. So this worksheet is going to deal with 3 different ways, and I'll show you the worksheet here in just a minute. So 3 different times you use a comma. So you would use a comma between the names of a city or town and a state. So the example here is Dallas, Texas. So Dallas is the name of a city. Texas is the name of a state. So you separate the city and the state with a comma. Okay, the second one is use a comma between the day and the year and a date. So here is a date. So it's July 17th, 1999. You have a month, then you have a day, and then you have a year. So you put that comma between the day and the year. And the last one is use a comma to separate things, to separate words in a series of 3 or more things. So your example is, I went to the store to get milk, bread, and eggs. So these milk, bread, and eggs are the words in a series. Okay, there are 3 things, so we use a comma to separate them. So we have milk, that's thing number 1, comma. Here's thing number 2, bread, comma. And then our last one is and eggs. So you use it to separate words in a series if there's more than 3 things. So your worksheet looks like this. So your worksheet looks like this. The one side is dealing with that words in a series. So you're going to read the sentence, and in that sentence, you're going to write the commas where they belong. Okay. And then at the bottom, it wants you to write a sentence about 3 or more of your favorite foods and snacks. Make sure that you start it with a capital letter, end it with the correct punctuation at the end, and then make sure you put those commas between your list of your favorite foods. Okay, so that's one side. The other side is dealing with the name of a city and state and the day in a year. So again, you read the sentence and you're going to add your comma where they belong. Then you have 2 writing sentences at the end. What is the city and state where you live? Make it a complete sentence. What is the day and year you were born? Make that a complete sentence. Making sure you add all the proper punctuation. Okay, so your little page for today is this page. Oh, look, it's exactly the same thing on number 1 and 2. So mark the one that's written correctly on number 1 and 2 that has the correct punctuation. Number 3 is a verb, which we've also talked about this week. And then 4 and 5 is those correcting the sentences. So making sure that capital letters, there's end marks, words that need to be capitalized or capitalized, proper punctuation. Okay, so correcting those sentences and rewriting them on the line. Your cursive for today looks like this. Okay, where we walk to school each day, Indian children used to play. All about our native land where the shops and houses stand. So that is a quote. So you're going to write that correctly, neatly, in cursive on the lines. Okay, and the last thing I have for you today is your Scholastic News magazine. Same magazine we've been using all week. You have 3 stories left in your magazine. Okay, so today you're going to read those those last 3 stories. You have I'm a Kid Inventor left. You have Back to a Booster. And then you have Monster Flower. Those are your 3 stories that are left. Okay, on the back side, I'm not going to require you do this. This is extra. If you do it and send me a picture, I'll give you some extra credit for it. Okay, so that's what the back side looks like. So you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, your only assignment on that today is just to read the stories. So those are your assignments for today. Guys, remember, you need to be reading for about 20 minutes every day. Okay, so get you a book. If you don't have access to books at home, I'm going to be posting some sites that you can get on and read books online for free. So you need to be spending 20 minutes every day reading. Also, make you a set of flashcards, multiplication flashcards. Okay, you do the ones that you can't just rattle off. You know your zeros and your ones and probably your 2s and your 5s pretty easily. Everything else, the ones that you don't just know by memory real quick, make a set of flashcards, and you should be practicing those flashcards for 15-20 minutes every day. That will really help you next year if you can rattle those multiplication facts off really quickly. So those are your assignments for today, and I will talk to you all later.